Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Katie.
And we are excited that you're here on this stormy but not stormy night in Southern California.
It stormed for about an hour, and it was the most aggressive Southern California storm you could possibly imagine.
In fact, it was so stormy, I got this picture.
Ah!
Craziness. Absolutely insane.
And here's something that I know that you will not know, but it's all I'm able to think about. Kendall Jenner named her baby Stormy.
Yes.
Well, no, her older kid. Her new baby is called Wolf. I don't know. I don't like that I know this information.
Okay.
But there's a video of her like dressing up Stormy, and she goes, "Stormy, you look like mommy, baby." And she goes, "I hate it." So every time we say Stormy, I just think Stormy, you look like mommy, baby. I hate it. But yeah, it was lightning and thunder for literally an hour, and it was very, very loud thunder. Like it was house shaking thunder.
Yeah, it was legit. It was really a lot of fun. And
then hail. Mm-hmm. Which we don't see very often.
We didn't get as much as some places, but it was still a lot of fun.
But I went outside and there was ice. So
that's a win.
That's like
winter.
That's like winter.
It's like California winter.
It was 85 degrees yesterday.
I know, it was crazy. All right. So what should people do, Katie?
You should go to geekscorner.live. And from there, you can go in the little chat box. And you can also comment, much like our friend Bailey did, on Miss Piggy. Because she came
arrived
back
fashionably late, right?
Yeah. So they announced last week that they would be restocking the Kermit and Piggy new emos. And so we obviously have had Kermit for a very long time, and we had planned to get Piggy, but then she sold out. And then we went to where did we go? Not 20th Century.
Emporium? Oh,
that's
no,
not
it was
Emporium.
No, it was Showcase.
Showcase.
I was like, I don't remember. It was like 2 days ago.
That store that's not Emporium, but it's across from Emporium.
You know, the one.
Yeah. And they actually did not have any Kermits in stock. They only had Piggy. So we got her this very cute ice skating outfit. She's got little ice skates over here, but she can't stand on them.
And it's appropriate because it's the Olympics.
It's the Olympics. So
we'll see what she ends up wearing after the Olympics.
Yeah, but no, I think this outfit's very cute. It's very Piggy. Because a Miss Piggy outfit needs to be sparkly. And it's moi. Like that's what it needs to be. And that's what this is giving.
Awesome.
It's giving. You don't. Okay.
I'm listening.
You know what? Okay.
I was waiting for a lead up to I'm kind of waiting for the joke.
Okay.
Is there a joke coming?
Tonight it's just going to be Katie explaining pop culture to Mr. Daps. There was when Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes were still dating, or maybe they weren't dating. It might have been a PR relationship, but there was a video and somebody was taking a picture of Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes is hyping up in the background. He goes, "It's giving Cher." And so that became a meme.
Got it.
So it's giving adjective here.
Yes.
You're not going to take any of this with you, and that's okay. I already know that you have forgotten what I said, and that's okay.
That is true. Bailey says someone should make Miss Piggy a spaceship Earth dress. I love that idea. That's a great...
because that's sparkly. It's nice. It compliments her.
And then you could take her to Florida and have her in front of Spaceship Earth while they play Rainbow Connection.
I'd cry.
It'd be pretty cool. All right. Well, other things are returning besides Miss Piggy or showing up fashionably late. One of them being the Trams.
You didn't plug.
What do I need to plug?
The thing we plug every week.
Oh, you want me to plug Mouseways?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'd prefer you.
If you're going to travel to any Disney parks.
If you're going to travel to EPCOT to see
there you go.
Rainbow Connection.
Well, I was excited about the return of the Trams.
Okay.
Anyway, if you're going to do any Disney travel in the future, please consider using Mouseways Travel. They are the official travel partner of DAPs Magic and Geeks Corner, and they will take care of you so you can simply enjoy your trip. It's a no-charge service that Matthew and team offers, and you get jazz hands for free too. But anyway,
this costs.
Okay, they will help you find the best deal and get the most out of the magic so you can have a fantastic stay. And they've done that for me several times now. So I endorse them, I use them, and you should too. And you'll be supporting us while also taking care of yourself.
And then when you book a trip on Mouseways, what you could do is take a tram.
And that's what Clocky just said. If you want to travel to see the trams, Mouseways Travel. And you can do that by going to mouseways.com/dapsmagic. And now we will talk about trams returning.
Beep, beep.
What do you think about the return of the trams? I will say it was one of our most viewed articles last week on Daps Magic.
It still is our top 5 most viewed article, even today. I'm excited. But I want to like asterisk my excitement. Is there like
a thing you can do to asterisk it?
That was like my.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
It was like a.
It's the up here kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, I was having my excitement. I was bringing it back.
Okay.
For the asterisk.
Okay.
I'm excited, but I also think this should have happened like 6 months ago.
Okay.
I'm listening. That's my asterisk. Is like we've had buses. I don't really see a reason, and I don't know for why trams couldn't come back sooner. I do like
maybe they'll get new paint jobs. I mean, we already saw one
that
didn't have a new paint job, but that would be cool. Because in Florida they got new paint jobs, right?
Did.
I was kind of hoping we would too.
I was hoping we would get electric trams, so that every time it pulled up, I could go, "It's electric." It's electric.
I know.
Okay, you know that one.
Yeah.
Whew!
In fact, that's one of my favorite
off my shoulder.
Impractical Jokers episode ends with that.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great thing. We talked about this a bit in the vlog that we recorded on Sunday, so it should post on this Sunday if I'm following the schedule correctly. No, is it already? Okay, so it'll post maybe next month, maybe next year. Who's to say?
Or next week, sometime.
Who's to say? But in that vlog, I said that walking the tram route was super fun when it was a novelty. And it's not a novelty, it's just difficult, and it's a very long walk. So I think it's going to be a really great thing, and looking forward to them.
And I will say that I'm excited that people are excited, but I really don't care.
We park in Toy Story.
Well, even with parking at Mickey and Friends, I'm not going to ride the tram. I'm going to walk. Yeah. Like even before the parks closed and there were trams, I did the walk. Like I've always done the walk because I'm there to, at some level, get a little bit more exercise because I sit in an office way too much. And so I'm happy that it's going to make other people happy and like even family members. I'm really glad for them that it's going to be back because I don't want them doing that walk. But for me personally, I'm kind of like, okay, that's fine. Like even half the time from Toy Story, we end up walking.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's just kind of like, I like to walk. So to me, it's not a huge game changer, and it's not, I like that it's coming back because it's one more thing closer to normalcy, but it's like, okay.
The thing that was my, when you converted me to parking at Toy Story lot, it was, I don't like that trams are a free-for-all. Like when you pull up, it's literally just like
diving in,
fighting for a row.
Yep.
So but yeah, I'm honestly kinetic energy. I will say it until I cannot say kinetic energy anymore. Yeah, I think it's just a good thing. I also really like hearing the monorail honk or monorail. I'm sorry, I read monorail, and then
tram.
I do like hearing the monorail honk, but I also like hearing the tram go beep beep.
Yeah, I do too. No, I think actually that part I'm almost looking forward to more than the actual tram.
Yeah,
and I might still park at Mickey and Friends just for the walk because I do think that is a fun thing to do.
Pedestrian bridge.
But yeah, the pedestrian bridge is beautiful, especially at night, and it is kind of fun to walk through downtown Disney as you're heading into the park. So
can we do speculation corner?
Fire away.
What's gonna happen with security?
It's gonna be open.
Well, yes, security is gonna be open. No. Like, so when you do the pedestrian bridge,
yes,
this is the big question mark. Everybody strap in. You do the pedestrian bridge. There is security there, but that security is closed. You have to go around.
That would be the security by the old
ESPN Zone Rainforest Cafe. Yes. The one that's attached to Lilo and Stitch lot is closed.
Yes.
For guests. It's a cast member entrance. So you have to go all the way around. And that just, it seems like, especially with the trams coming back,
Well, I don't think it's very hospitable.
More guests might take that
Mm-hmm.
pedestrian bridge. So I'm just wondering, I'm like, maybe they're going to split it like it's a cast member this way and guests this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just very interested. That was my speculation corner. Wasn't a lot of speculating, but I was just more
questioning.
It was questioning.
It was question corner.
Corner.
More questions were answered today, though, when it was announced that Disneyland and Walt Disney World will be loosening their mask guidelines starting on Thursday.
I thought you were trying to say listening, and I was like, loosening's not a word.
No, loosening.
Like, loosen, like, yeah,
yes.
I get that now.
Yeah.
I'm going crazy.
You're going counterclockwise.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yes. And so I'm curious, what do you think about the relaxed mask guidelines?
My biggest takeaway from this personally is that, I mean, we saw it in Walt Disney World, and I've seen it personally on attractions. Guests sometimes become a little bit combative over indoor mask requirements. The only positive for this, for me, is that
members.
that there's less of a chance of cast members being berated or bullied or having an uncomfortable situation with guests over facial coverings. Personally, I don't think the science super supports doing this right now, but if we are going Scouts Honor and it is only vaccinated individuals going maskless, then yes.
And I don't care. I'm going to wear my mask anyway.
I am also going to be wearing my mask indoors.
I mean, at some level, you can't control other people. You can control yourself. So I kind of going like, okay, well, you've made your choices and I'll make mine. And let's hope that all works out. And let's hope we don't see surprises one way or the other.
Surprises aren't fun. But yeah, no, we are vaccinated. We are boosted. We also wear KN95 masks. Like, we are doing our part to protect ourselves, and that's truly all we can do at this point. So,
yep. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and see how the next few months go. In more exciting news, I think way more exciting news.
Yeah.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers posted a trailer today. It's going to be coming to Disney Plus on May 20th, if I remember correctly, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not a reboot.
It's a comeback.
It's a comeback. It's a continuation. I actually think it's a continuation in some ways. Yes, it'll be a comeback, I'm sure, by the end of the movie. But we got a very Easter egg-filled trailer today. And what did you think of it?
I think it's fun. Honestly, the first time I watched it, I wasn't sure what I thought of it. I love John Mulaney. Not for what he does in his personal life, but what he does professionally. And I love Andy Samberg. So I think that's a very fun duo. For a bit.
What did you think of the voices?
I think it's fine. I don't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem with it at all.
I'm not sold. Unless this is the voices you see like when they're close, and then when you go back to like human size, they have high voices.
Maybe.
I don't
know. But it kind of feels like a 2022 Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of like the animation and live action mixing, the Disney throwing the IPs that they have at this. I think it's going to be
all of them.
Yeah. Literally, they said
we didn't see Star Wars yet. Maybe we did.
They said, remember how we own cats? Remember that? Here you go. I also love that Roger Rabbit makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Like I thought
that might be the entire
fun.
appearance he has in the movie.
And that's fine.
Same with Paula Abdul.
Oh, I was thinking Mickey Mouse in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like, it's going to be that level of length of an appearance. I think they might be in separate animation styles the whole movie.
I think they might be as well.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like, I know the voices I got used to with the Three Boys and DuckTales.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit different, and I did find myself getting pulled out of the, like, I wasn't buying into the characters as much as I thought I could. And maybe by the time that I see this whole movie, I'll be completely sold. I'm like, oh, that was a good choice. But I'm curious. Yeah, like it's that was my one question mark. I loved all of the references to different, like the animation style references you're saying, and the actually self-reference, like this is where we were, this is where we are,
I
this
love
is
that.
what I've done.
Kind of like it's like kind of like behind the music type of thing of like until tragedy struck.
Yes.
I thought that was very fun.
Well, and it clearly does not take itself seriously.
No, I think that whether it is a critically good movie or a critically bad movie, no, whether it's good or whether it's a bad movie, I think either way, it's a fun movie. Like,
yes,
it's like you turn your brain off and you just go, wee.
And as Caleb is saying, I did think the Scrooge McDuck cameo was great.
That was fun.
And that was the right voice. Yeah, but as Mike says, chipmunk voices aren't deep timbers. Yes, that is true as well. I honestly think you could have just bumped them up a little bit and it would have been fine. Like, keep their voices, but whatever.
It is not the thing I have a problem with.
What did you have a problem with?
I had a problem with throwing all the IP and making IP soup.
So here's my question, and I think this is why they did it. Did you look at the production / cast list for this? And let's say you don't know what the movie is. What would you think it is? Just looking at who's involved with this.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
It's a Saturday Night Live movie.
Well, it's also with Lonely Island.
It's entirely, but it's a Saturday Night Live movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's interesting about it and why they're throwing so many IP is because, of course, they're going to do this. Like, this is not like, as I was watching this and as I was reading who's making this, I'm like, this is not a Disney movie. This is a Saturday Night Live movie
that
using
has
some
Disney
characters.
IP. Yeah.
And that's what's going to be really interesting because like DuckTales, they stuck with the bigger picture of the story and they started rebuilding or rebooting, which is maybe why they went this direction with their marketing, the Disney Afternoon. And we've got Darkwing Duck coming soon too. I'm betting we don't see Dark. Maybe we'll. I don't know. But this one seems to maybe be a complete one-off of like, this doesn't exist in the canon of the Disney Afternoon.
Certainly could.
Might recognize it. I don't know. It'll be very interesting. I hope we get more trailers just because I think this is going to be one. Actually, I feel like this is one we should do a DAPs watch for.
I think we should.
Because it's going to be either absolutely amazing in its craziness or absolutely terrible in its craziness. And both might be good.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we will. Just a couple months. 3 months?
3 months.
3 months and about a week. All right, we're gonna do that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Also, we got a new trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What did you think of that one?
I think it's great. If you know anything about me, you know the highlight of this trailer for me. What's the highlight of this trailer for me, Mr. Daps?
Not the highlight of the trailer for me.
What's the highlight of the trailer for me?
Tell us.
You were supposed to guess.
Wanda?
It's Wanda. Okay. It's Wanda.
I hate when you do that because then I'm like, I say what I think it is, and you're like, no, that was not it, Mr. Daps.
No,
like,
you've watched me watch this trailer twice now, and both times I go, there's my girl. Yeah, I don't. So here's a couple things that I'm very excited about. One, the return to Westview, whether that be in her mind or an actual physical return to Westview. That scene where she like has blood dripping down her face and she like reaches out to her is so heartbreaking. I'm so excited for the emotional journey that we go on with that. And two, when she says, when you break the rules, you're a hero, and when I break the rules, I'm a villain, that doesn't seem fair, does it? Because it's true.
Yep.
And yet people want to say Wanda enslaved people. Doctor Strange literally erased an entire universe's mind and memory because one kid didn't get into college.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the context of that line that she says.
Yes.
Because is that in context to something that's already happening or happened, or is that something that's happening right there in that moment, or is it a combination of both because of the craziness of magic?
And I will say, there is somebody on TikTok, Jay Stoobs on TikTok. She has a lot of Marvel stuff. She has a very fascinating in-depth on basically how Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe treats women. And it's actually a really fascinating deep dive on that line specifically and how Wanda Maximoff has always been treated and her powers and
So do you
all
think
of that.
this is a time to change it?
Yeah.
Or where they can change it and they do?
They can change it unless they frame her as the villain in Multiverse of Madness.
So you don't think they'll somehow redeem her or something?
I could really see it going either way.
Like, I would love to see her end up the hero.
I would like that.
And it turns out that, Doctor Strange isn't as all-powerful as he thinks he is. I think that'd be great.
What was your favorite part of the trailer, Mr. Daps?
Clocky and I are very good friends.
I was about to say.
When Captain Picard showed up.
So here's a funny thing behind the scenes is I had watched the trailer without sound first because we were at Disneyland on Super Bowl Sunday and I didn't have headphones. So I was like, okay, so I watched it with captions. So all it says is mysterious voice. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And I see everybody on Twitter saying like, oh my gosh, Patrick Stewart. And I was like, wait, we're doing X-Men?
Yeah.
And then we watch it and you go, that's not Patrick Stewart. No. But then we listened to it again on better speakers.
You know what also helped? I watched part of Picard. Well, no, it actually did, because I always forget how much his voice has changed in the last 10, 15 years. And it really has much more of a kind of a hollow sound than it did before. And so then the moment I heard him in Picard, I was like, oh, that is Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of one of those weird,
I just like it because fun fact, I've said this before, but my email signature at work is from Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So
well, and I think if you watch it closely and on a bigger screen than a phone, you can also see his silhouette.
Yes.
I think he says we should tell him or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And right after he says it, you can kind of see like the side of his head from behind, kind of pulling out of the shot. And it's obviously completely blurred, but
we should tell him.
That's what it is. And so I'm very intrigued by what this means, where it's going to go, how it gets to that point, and what it does for the future of the MCU. And I don't know, like, what comes after this?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, it used to be super easy to keep up with all the Marvel movies. And now
when does Moon Knight come out? I know it's a TV show, but
that's in May.
Okay, so same time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving right along. Unfortunately, Beauty and the Beast, the prequel. I think it was going to be called Little Town.
The prequel, the sequel, the movie, the series.
That's also a musical. It has been put on hold by Disney because of creative elements not coming together. What do you think about this, Katie?
I don't love the Beauty and the Beast live action movie. So I don't really.
But LeFou and Gaston were easily some of the highlights in that film.
Definitely. Yeah, it just kind of felt like there was something missing from the live action Beauty and the Beast. And honestly, I forgot that they were making a prequel series. So I was like, oh, okay, my life kind of goes on unchanged from this.
So you don't care?
No.
Okay. Well, that keeps it easy.
Yeah.
I'm curious what actually happened. I also think it's kind of weird because I almost feel like there's somebody at Disney Plus that just needs to kind of let go and let Josh Gad do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because first it was the Muppets. Like, remember he was working supposedly on that series with the Muppets?
Yeah.
And then that got pulled for creative differences. And I feel like if anybody's going to get the Muppets, like, besides Jason Segel, Josh Gad. Like, he seems like he's a Muppet lover at his core, and he almost is a Muppet in some regards.
Yeah.
So I feel like he would have been great with Muppets. Like, I feel like that would have been a really cool thing. And I also feel like the Beauty and the Beast prequel had the possibility of just kind of like building off of the chemistry the two of them had in the movie. And really that was the stronger part of the movie anyway, because it just, like he's musical theater. He
Mm-hmm.
can do this. And I think that actually, if we're going to go to Beauty and the Beast the movie, part of the problem with it is there were people that weren't musical theater trying to do musical theater. And it just doesn't work. Like they've done that in so many movies through the years where you have these incredible musicals like Phantom and the Opera being a prime example. And then you don't
the movie version was so good. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
It was gorgeous. But you need to have strong
Don't
singers
lie.
and strong No, it is.
No, it's true.
Like
It
the
is. It's
cinematography
pretty.
is a beautiful.
It's a pretty movie if you don't listen
There's even
to what's
pretty
going
people
on.
in it. It just doesn't sound good.
Yeah, just listen to it with no sound.
Like I think to me one of the hard parts of Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite things is yes, I liked Gaston and LeFou. I thought they were fun. But my favorite character was her dad. Like Kevin Kline singing his little song to whatever.
Yeah, his little music box
is the prettiest musical moment in the film, and it's kind of not even needed.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like I mean, maybe they would build the whole prequel around how can a moment last forever? Yeah, like
I don't know. I was gonna go off topic for a second.
Go ahead.
You brought up the Muppets, and I wanted to plug the episode of the Below the Frame hosted by Matt Vogel.
Which if you want to come on the show, Matt, we would love to have you.
Please, we have a spot. We also have a Kermit, but you don't have to talk about Kermit. You can talk about whatever you want.
We can talk about your band.
We could talk about what kind of pizza you like.
We could definitely do that.
But there is an episode with the heads of Muppet Studios, and they talk a lot about the creation of the Muppets caroling coach for Disney Merriest Nights,
which was great,
and some of the rehearsal processes and how they watched the crowds. And I think it's really, really great.
What my favorite part of that was is knowing they were watching us watch the Muppets. And I totally saw that group and made eye contact with them multiple times because I was catching the show at different parts so I could see the different like what they do down in the street and what they do up here. I was like, oh, there's a group of people that look like Imagineering.
Yeah.
And so I kind of smiled at them. And like now in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, oh, definitely that guy I saw. And
so it's a very fun episode. So if you want to hear, and if you also want to have hope about Muppets and Disney parks, listen to that episode because there is definitely nuggets of hope scattered throughout it of like, there's going to be more Muppets in Disney parks.
Oh, totally. And it's worth just listening to the entire podcast because Matt Vogel does a really nice job of interviewing different people from Sesame Street, Muppets, and family members, I guess you could say, that really gives you a behind the scenes look at what it's like to work for these two organizations and how much fun they have together. I think that's one of the big takeaways of everything.
That's the common thread, is that they all love what they do very genuinely. Even though in season 2 there's a new segment called Injury Corner, but they all talk about how they get hurt.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
Of course you're not.
Matt. Well, no, I just like if it was funnier.
Oh, I think it's funny.
Oh, do you? Like, I want it to be more zany.
That's fair. But they talk about like the injuries that they have gotten puppeteering. And like for everything that they go through for all the spaces that they have to cram in, they all genuinely love what they do.
And who they do it with.
Yep. So it's a really fun podcast. The episode with Carol Spinney's widow made me cry.
It's a beautiful episode.
It's really, really nice. So yeah. Listen to it. It's great if you have spare time.
And we agree. Bring back Muppet Mobile Labs.
I haven't seen it.
New things would be good too.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually know what. I feel like there's lots of possibilities at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, just about anywhere. Like I hate to say this, but I feel like Disney's Hollywood Studios is just screaming for more Muppets.
Yeah.
I mean, like other parts of the park too, not just that corner. But
make it a Muppet park.
But like just on the entryway,
you can... MGM Muppets, great
musical.
Man.
I don't know. Anyway, I would love to see more of these things come to life in the parks. In fact, we were talking about Disneyland After Dark Valentine's Day. I was talking with somebody else that does what we do for another website, and we were both talking about how we really enjoyed Sweethearts Night, but it didn't have that Muppet moment that Merriest Nights had, and like it would have just put it over the top if they'd had the Merriest Nights Muppets. or some other version of something. Like
no, I want Gonzo and Camilla. I want Kermit and Piggy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm looking for. I'm
Yeah.
looking for the Muppet couples.
The magic of the Muppet couples.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it would have fit really well in Sweetheart Nights.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Anyway, it is Geeks Corner Plus time, and if you have any questions, throw them at us, and we will do our best to answer them. Since we don't have anything planned as we get towards the end of the show, do you have something you wanted to add?
No, there's
Oh,
not something I wanted to add. There's something you skipped over in the order.
I skipped something.
Yeah, you literally skipped over
Oh,
something
why
in the
don't you
order.
talk about it? I totally can't read.
I asked for one thing to be put into the order of the show, and Mr. Dapp skips it. It's okay. I know my place. Anyway, there is a new wedding location for Disney Fairy Tale Weddings.
See, we saved it for Geeks Corner Plus. This is great.
I thought you were doing it intentionally,
No.
and then you weren't.
No.
So it's fine. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
It's at EPCOT. It is at I don't know how you say it in French, but it is at Remy's place. It is the courtyard in front. It's kind of like where the creperie is, in front of that fountain.
Which is often a really full queue, but yes.
And it was something that I like when I read the thing. I was like, that is an awful place for a wedding venue. I think that that's ugly. Because all I could think of was the blue sign, and I was like, I don't know how much I like that.
But if you're back further, you wouldn't see the blue sign.
But then I saw the venue pictures, and if you go to dapsmagic.com, I wrote an article and I put in all the pictures. It's gorgeous. It's all the romance of France and all of that beauty, and it's also like very notably theme parky because you have that Remy fountain.
It's very cute.
It's something funny because this was a discussion we were having recently of like Disney fairy tale weddings are great, but if you're paying that much money, sometimes you just want that like icon of like, this is a Disney wedding, like,
which is a hard part at EPCOT sometimes,
because
like not all the locations are iconic.
Because we were talking specifically about the Canada Pavilion. It's very, very pretty, but nothing about it screams theme park. Like it's not. This was a wedding in EPCOT, and I think that this is actually that balance of like this is gorgeous, especially. Usually the pavilion weddings you have to do at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. before park open. So I think especially with that light, it's going to be very pretty.
It's too bad they can't do it like midnight.
When it's dark?
Yeah, you could really do some cool lighting stuff there.
Yeah.
Disney knows how to do lighting.
I mean, yeah, but...
I don't know, just popped in my
head. Remy, the Ratatouille... The rat of all our dreams. I hope that that's the song they walk down the aisle to.
Bailey is asking, do you think that they would allow you to dance to the music from Ratatouille the musical? I'm betting not. Actually, no. I bet there's a licensing thing that you could.
Well, no, it was a TikTok musical.
I still bet there's a licensing thing you could.
I'm sure that you could get a nice piano cover to walk down the aisle. Yeah, open Q&A time, guys. But yeah, so I think that this is stunning.
Do we still use Price Waterhouse Cooper for the DAPC? Of course.
Yeah.
We always use PwC.
Which reminds us.
Next week.
The DAPCs are next Tuesday.
We have both filmed our short films.
Wow.
We are ready to go for the DAPCs.
Mark your calendars.
You won't want to miss it. It will be.
Dress up in your finest attire. It's DAPC time, baby.
Do reaction videos.
Yeah. Because we're going to dress up.
Do you remember the time when people would do reaction videos to Geeks Corner?
That was before
That's
my
like season
time.
1 or 2 or something like that.
I remember it as a fan, but that is before my time.
Okay.
Proper here on Geeks Corner.
All right. Well, speaking of time, Katie, what should people do?
Just go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss anything.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos that we have going up. We've got several still going up from Walt Disney World just a couple weeks ago. We've got a bunch going up from Disneyland as well, because there's lots of changes happening there. So we've been doing some tours and other things to hopefully give you a glimpse into what is going on in the parks, along with the vlogs and everything else that we have going up as well. You won't want to miss any of it. But that is all the time that we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.